The government of South Africa is now threatening their citizens with treason if they are caught spreading so-called misinformation about the racial discrimination happening in their country, or the expropriation and more, as South Africa freefalls into a terrifying racist anti-white state, hell-bent on brutalizing the minority whites within their country.
The law enforcement agencies are investigating the Treasonous Act of misinformation, but we continue to make sure that the Treasonous Acts cannot be left unpunished. So anyone, whether they are a political structure, whether they're a civil society organization, or whether they're individuals who threaten that democracy, who threatens the security of.
It's always they're threatening democracy. We must eliminate them. Kind of like what's happening in Germany right now, where they're trying to ban the AfD party outright because they're threatening democracy. So to save democracy, they must end democracy. It always makes sense with these dictatorial people
Of the state, and will not leave any stone unturned to make sure that they are prosecuted by the law enforcement agencies. Thank you. The law enforcement agencies.
So essentially, they are threatening anyone who gets in their way with treason, because it's making them look bad on the world stage. And they know with President Trump in power, that puts them at risk. Other weak presidents we've had before would have looked the other way, but Trump doesn't seem to be doing this. And of course, the idea that the government is trying to claim that it's all misinformation about the racism, the expropriation, and more coming from their country, it's ridiculous to pretend it's not happening. I mean, you have insane weirdos within the South African government who are calling for the theft of white land and wealth, and the calls for the murder of the white community in South Africa is also well documented. You have politicians calling for the murder of white people. Again, all very real, all well documented. Then there's more.
For each one person that is being killed by the taxi industry, we'll kill 5 white people. For every one black person we'll kill 5 white people. We'll kill one of us, we'll kill 5 of you. We'll kill the children, we'll kill the women, we'll kill anything that we find on our way. They kill one of us, we kill how many? They kill one of us, we kill how many? They kill one of us, we kill how many whites? We kill the children, we kill the women, we kill their dogs, we kill their cats, we kill anything that comes for each one person.
But of course, it's all misinformation. And then, of course, there's this gem as well.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we have not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand
At least for now.
Somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies. Cry babies.
I'm not calling for the slaughter of white people.
It's crybabies because people are noticing that we haven't really called for murders yet. Maybe in the future, but not right now. But it's all misinformation. It's treason then, right? I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. The very idea of land confiscation itself, especially without compensation, is nothing more than outright theft. And South Africa's government is hell-bent on enforcing their racial hatred and discrimination. They are allowing the calls for violence from the evil politicians infesting the country. The courts there have blocked attempts to go after people doing the chant of, shoot to kill. This is a clear sign that South Africa is spiraling into darkness that will likely see death, murder, and mayhem in the foreseeable future. And the South African government, they don't feel bad about their hatred, but they are waking up to the reality that without former President Vegetable at the helm, President Biden, with Donald Trump in charge, they are in danger of facing serious repercussions for their monstrous actions. And so they are desperately trying to claw back at the narrative that they are white-hating racists who want to steal and murder from their minority white community in their nation. Because they've openly said so, they just don't want the world to punish them for it. Thankfully, though, it's far too late to put that cat back into the bag. Everything that they are doing is exposed, and the idea that they could expect to hide this from the world's view now is rather laughable. And let's give you an example of exactly how this country has been implementing the racial hatred. Let's take a little stroll down evil lane for a moment with South Africa. There is the most notable Expropriation Act of 2024, which was signed into law here in 2025 by the current evil racist president Cyril Ramaphosa or whatever. This act allows the state to swoop in and take land under the guise of public purpose or public interest from the white community, and even allows for zero compensation for the theft of property and land under Section 12(3). So, again, this doesn't just include land, but all movable and immovable assets. And I find it interesting that they share so much in common with the hate groups, Black Lives Matters, and the Antifa types. It always seems to be the same excuse. The driving force behind this ideology is they want to correct the past injustices. And in the case of South Africa, they want to correct the past injustices from the 1913 Natives Land Act and Apartheid's Group Areas Act, which dispossessed black people back then. They want to bring the hammer down on the white community. It doesn't matter what common sense might dictate. Vengeance and violence is the word of the day with the South African government. Now, the Expropriation Act is perhaps the most prominent law that the world is looking at, thanks to people like Elon Musk and others who wade into the fray, pointing out the law's inherent evil. But it's still just the tip of the iceberg, or the tip of the spear, if you prefer. Let's also take a look at the black economic empowerment and other related policies. Just like here in the US with our DEI discrimination hell that we are only just beginning to escape from, South Africa is drinking deep from the discrimination trough with their BEE. What it does is it mandates racial quotas and preferential treatment for black, colored, and Indian South Africans in employment, business ownership, and procurement, all for the sake of compensating for so-called historical disadvantages. It's always the same evil excuse for doing terrible things. The BEE also requires companies to meet scorecards to secure government contracts or licenses. And it prioritizes black-owned businesses in hiring, again, reminiscent of our DEI nonsense that we've been enduring here in the US up until recently. And the BEE also enforces affirmative action in workplaces and equity ownership schemes. And there is more, so much more with the BEE. And still, that's not all. There's the water licensing laws. A 2024 policy prioritizes black farmers for water permits, restricting white farmers' access. There's the Bella Bella Act, the Basic Education Laws Amendment, which regulates school language policies to promote so-called inclusivity. And again, notice how this is the language of the left. The BLM types, the Antifa types, the DEI culture. It is an infestation, an infection. And South Africa is swimming with this virus. And of course, in South Africa, they must have quotas. Because of course they do. There's even sports quotas. There is transformation policies which require racial quotas in national teams like rugby and cricket, which some white athletes are claiming limit their opportunities, and of course it does. And so on and on and on the hate and madness goes in South Africa. They are devolving into yet another racist hellhole. There is a reason why there are 70,000 plus white people trying to flee the coming storm from that country. Because the writing is on the wall. This government wants you dead or abused at bare minimum. And to stay in South Africa is to be stupid and insane. To anyone with eyes that can see, the course is clear where this is all heading. It's just a matter of time before it turns into a meat grinder. Of that, there can be no doubt.